All right, what's up, Hacksters? It's Fundum Friday once again, and we have a grab bag of 5 different crowdfunding projects now on Kickstarter for you to check out. First up, I got really excited about the ProgramaTron, because it's a really cool maker tool that if you are an inspiring maker pro, or if you're building your own small business, if you're making your own kits, this could make your life a whole lot easier. Plus, it has a hidden feature, well, hidden, but that could be really useful for people like me who end up with, 9 years worth of projects that are kind of sitting around, and I might want to update them again in the future. So we have here a board that helps you program AVR chips in all kinds of different packages. We're talking like AT-Tinys, Atmega chips, and more. And you use this awesome little assembly to connect them, and it does it really quickly. They've already done all the design, and they've already been in business for a while, so we have good faith that they will actually work out. So not only do you have one method of programming this, like inserting the microcontroller, pushing a button, waiting, removing the microcontroller, and then doing it all again, the programming process takes like between 4 and 40 seconds, depending on the size of the program, which is really rad. Plus, there's another way to program your microcontroller as well. If I wanted to clone whatever in the world is on this, I have no idea what code is on here, then I could just connect it via the ICSP port, this 6-pin port that's on every Arduino, We've got the Adafruit Metro M4 Express Beta here, it's got the same thing. We've got this Maker Uno board, it's got the same thing. Any of these could be cloned using the ProgramaTron. And plus they've got this really great sort of old school design that I just love. It reminds me of old school vacuum tubes. I've got some of their like paper card containers, and it's super cool. Plus, it can store up to 6 different hex files. So these are the it's not like programming an Arduino from scratch, where you like use this to burn a new program from your computer onto the Arduino. It works with existing hex files, which you store on an SD card, and you can store up to 6 of them at a time. And they even include space on the PCB for you to write those down, like physically, which I think is just really cool. I think it could make working with Arduino code much easier, especially as someone who, again, like I've got a couple of these that have some old servo code on them for Delta bots, and I have no idea what that code is anymore, but I could resurrect the bots if I needed to by cloning the code, which is really cool. Next up, we've got a NickC Clock Arduino shield, which takes basically the hassle out of powering and running NickC tubes. If you're not familiar, these are beautiful old-style sort of vacuum tubes that have different glowing filament elements. Often you'll see them, people make NickC tube clocks that have like 4 different ones that show numerical digits. And so, it'll light up, they're all like stacked on top of each other, and the specific digit layer will light up of the current digit that it's meaning to show. But these are some cool little sort of meter version ones, like bar graphs, which I haven't seen before. Each shield has space for 2, I think. They've got a beautiful gallery of sort of demos. Prototypes, super steampunk, of course. And it's an Arduino shield, but it can work with all types of different microcontrollers. So there's the STM32 Nucleo, Adafruit Feather, which is an increasingly popular form factor. In fact, we're seeing like the new particle boards, the boron, argon, xenon are the same form factor. So, but any of these, it takes, I think, 2 PWM pins and a ground pin connection. So pretty much any microcontroller, you can hook it up to this. And it'll basically take out all the pain of powering the NickC tubes. And here's a quick look at like what they look like in action. Up and down. You've got about a month left to go on this one, and they are 3 times funded almost. So that's a pretty sure bet. You've got the ProgramaTron is twice overfunded, and they've got a week left to go, so be sure to jump on that if you want. Next up we have the Bucky, which is an ed-tech robot to narrow technology access gaps. It reminds me of the little, I forget what they called, Toby or something? The little turtle bots that we had in school when I was a kid. But this is like the next generation, you know, you program it with an iPad. We've seen a few that are similar to this, but there's a couple things I especially love about this campaign. I mean, first off, congratulations, they just hit their funding and they've got 17 days to go. It's also bilingual, and they did that in a really nice way. You've got the Spanish on the left and the English on the right, and they managed to make this like not totally overwhelming and a really just nice design for a bilingual Kickstarter project. And plus it's got these cute little cartoon people and stuff. It's so good. The design is just great and really kid-friendly, but, you know, from anywhere from little tiny kids to, you know, grown-up kids. Plus, the other thing about this is that they're developing an IFT implementation or integration. So if this then that is one of my favorite tools for people who are either starting out as makers or even people who are pretty experienced, like, and you don't want to spend a ton of time writing like dealing with APIs, which can be a complete nightmare. If this and that takes a lot of the trouble out of that for you, because you just like click if, which is like if this, which is like one of the channels, which could be particle photon, it could be your Philips Hue lights, it could be email notifications, it could be a specific date and time, it could be you know, weather, and all kinds of different inputs, and then you hook it up to an output, which is another channel. So this makes programming really a snap, and not only is it really easy, but it's also really powerful. Like, I use it all the time, and I know how to program Arduinos and stuff. So if you want to go a little bit higher tech, you can always go up to Tembu, which helps you hook APIs together. But yeah, anyway, this is Bucky. Of course, it's named after Buckminster fullerene molecule, which is shaped like this little, or just Buckminster Fuller, who is the creator of the Buckyball geodesic dome. Yeah. So next up we have October, which I mainly am just including because I think it's a little unsettling and funny. It's like, I like that it incorporates lots of soft sensors. So it's basically like cloth monster that you stick your tablet in, and then it has this face that interacts with kids, and it's like got, you know, it's basically for the younger generation before Bucky. They've got these sort of card storybooks, and they incorporate a couple of cool things. They have these little NFC tokens that are magic tokens that interact with the storybook, so that this creature can like read to your kids or whatever, and you can interact with them. Which, when I was a kid, the really cool kids had those books that were like, they had little music things on the side, and you push the button and Aladdin would say something, or like the genie or whatever, or the Lion King. You know, they would all, anyway. It's basically like that, but for the 21st century, which is pretty exciting. They also have some cute little cartoon characters and stuff. And, you know, the most terrifying thing about this for me is that you put your tablet in here, and then you encourage your children to throw it around. And they do say that. They're like, you know, they can throw it around, they can hug it, they can squish it. And I'm like, ah, this is terrifying. But, yeah, it's kind of cool. Like, soft sensors, e-textiles, super cool. And it can interact with all these little NFC tokens, which is just great. And then finally, one that I really hope gets funded. We got 4 days to go. It needs $70,000. They've got $48,000. You know, I think they could do it. They just need a little bit of a push. And it is a gorgeous modular light bulb, which is you basically assemble this lamp with tiles that light up and ones that act as like batteries, and it's designed to be modular, reconfigurable. You can build whatever shapes you want. What I especially like about it is that for something that you can build like all kinds of different platonic solids and stuff, that means that you're going to have these things interacting at a bunch of different angles, and they've designed this little connection method that allows it to do that. So, you know, you've got these ones, which are, I think, a 45-degree angle. I'm going to get that wrong. But as you know, you construct a larger shape, they're going to be more obtuse angles, and these connectors that they have will work all the way around that, which is pretty cool. Wait, even at 180, really? You can just put it on top there? That's crazy. It's a really cool idea. They've got 3 different finishes. They've got like a white finish, a wood finish, and a shiny copper one. It's just really pretty, and I hope that they get their funding. You know, you may design a really nice, beautiful thing, and it may not get funded. that's the reality, but I hope they do. Anyway, fun to look at for, product design inspiration, I think. So once again, that is the Smart Bunch world's first modular light bulb, Octobo learning plushie toy that you put your tablet in and tell your kids to throw it around. Bucky, the educational technology robot. The NickC Clock Arduino shield, super exciting. Steampunks, I'm looking at you. And then finally the ProgramaTron SD card based standalone AVR programmer. Their selling point is that you can use it on a train, which I think is just great. Yeah, so this can make your life hella easier. Go watch the movie with your friends and also build your kits at the same time. Go forth, enjoy funding these, and have an awesome Earth Day weekend, and we'll see you Monday. Ciao.